Welcome back. If you've been concerned that the IRS in recent years has been acting like Big Brother, well, listen to this. Now that agency wants more information on exactly who is giving money to nonprofits. You heard me right. The IRS demanding charities turn over Social Security numbers of those who donate more than $250 in a given year. But conservatives are alarmed that the IRS is even considering this rule. So what is behind all this? For more on this story, we welcome in Cleta Mitchell, partner at the law firm Foley and Lardner. She joins us via Skype from Washington, D.C., and for purposes of full disclosure, we should point out that once upon a time, she served as my legal counsel on the campaign trail. Cleta, it's great to have you. What impact would this rule change have on nonprofits and on the general public?
Well, I think that the first thing that it would do, it would cause people to be very wary and might even decide not to contribute $250 or more to charities, schools, churches, museums, any number of charitable organizations. I mean, if you can imagine your local school auction wants people to buy things and contribute things, and that group of parents who are volunteers are supposed to collect the Social Security numbers of the donors. I mean, seriously, the impact would be horrendous. It would be fraught with peril for identity thieves, and it serves no useful purpose whatsoever.
I can almost see this, especially for conservatives worried about the targeting scandal, setting up the 249 Club, where you give $249 and not a dollar more, and that would be problematic for charitable organizations.
It would be terrible for charitable organizations. And you know, one of the things that's interesting is the National Council of Nonprofits published a paper on this about a couple of weeks ago. And in that paper, it pointed out the IRS tried this about 6 years ago, and the Government Accountability Office came back and said, this is a terrible idea. It does not serve any public policy purpose and should be disregarded. And here they are back again, 6 years later, again trying. This time they're saying, well, we would only make it voluntary. But the fact is, a charity today is supposed to send a receipt for contributions of $250 or more that the donor is supposed to use in order to claim the tax deduction. And frankly, that's as far as it should go. The GAO has said that's all that's necessary. The current system is not broken. But this is a really terrible idea, and I think just allows the IRS to demand more and more information about donors to nonprofits, and I think that everybody ought to get busy and go to regulations.gov. That's where this proposal is has been posted, and weigh in and post your comments opposing this proposed rule. The comment period closes on December 16th, but every citizen, we need thousands and thousands of people to send an email to the IRS at regulations.gov and say, do not require this.
About a minute remains, Cleta, and I'm just kind of curious about this because the IRS is claiming, oh, it's voluntary. But given the atmosphere in Washington, how long do you think before the IRS would say, no, this is going to be mandatory, regardless of what the public has to say?
There's no such thing with the IRS of being voluntary. It may be voluntary for now, but I promise you, the fact that they've come back with this 6 years after the GAO said don't do it only suggests to me that they've got some ulterior motive that they are going to insist on, and they're going to make it mandatory for everyone. We need to kill it dead by going on to regulations.gov and saying, don't do this. We oppose it.
30 seconds left. Just curious, is this the revenge of Koskinen with the House moving to impeach the IRS commissioner?
Well, who knows? I think that what this demonstrates is that the IRS just sits around and thinks up ways to invade our privacy and to try to control every aspect of our lives. And this is just more of the same. It's why Congress does need to impeach John Koskinen.
And in addition to that, Congress will probably move forward with statutory language to put a stop to this kind of reporting. But you're wise to tell the public to weigh in. Cleta Mitchell, we thank you for weighing in via Skype from Washington. When we come back, we'll talk terrorism and national security with Ryan Morrow and Claire Lopez. That's next on Newsmax Prime.